Good morning, everyone. It's already the beginning of September. I can't believe it's already starting, starting to get to become interesting times right now. And I'm very happy to have so many affiliates and realtors here on the meeting today. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all to our sales meeting. And go ahead and allow this time right now to do the affiliate introductions and say hello to all of our great, hardworking, and responsible affiliates. Who wants to take it first? Any volunteers?
I'll go first.
Okay, because I know some people said they had to go to another meeting, so we'll do Nicole, then Nancy. Nicole?
Good morning, everyone. Happy Wednesday. And yes, September. Can't believe we've made it this far. Great to see all of you. Give us a call for any of your title needs. Nicole and Yvonne, Stewart Title. And thank you, Kelvin, for allowing us to be here on the meeting today.
Appreciate having you here. Honestly, it's great to just have and be able to connect, even though we don't see each other on as much as before. I love seeing you guys at our sales meetings, and you guys are all welcome back. Thanks, Nicole. Bye. Nancy.
Good morning, everybody. Nancy Chan, Lawyer's Title. Some of the properties right now, just a little heads up to get prepared. If you have a listings and a lot of larger property sellers are losing money, and if they're losing money and they're not a non-residents, you have to get withholding in escrow. But if you know that, please give me a call, heads up. There is a couple people that can file for you for exemption, even though they are non-residents. They will file because for you to not to give withholding if they're losing money. So, but we need time. You can't just tell him you're closing tomorrow, you need to file today. It doesn't work that way. So listing agent, please find out the details and talk to me. I'll give you a couple of companies that can help you do that. Thank you very much, Nancy Chan. I'm one step ahead of everybody. Lawyer's Title. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much. We'll do Sandy Franco, and then Sandy Franco's uglier son. I'm just kidding. We also have Mark Wu, who's fronting as Sandy Franco's double.
The original.
He does have a twin. I do know that.
Very much. Yes. Okay. One day maybe I'll have Dawn do my meetings for me. Hey guys, it's going to be hot again this weekend. I'm around. If your clients have air conditioning problems, give them my contact info. I'm sure the phones will be crazy busy, and I can place claims for them super fast. Stay indoors, stay cool, stay hydrated. No animals, no babies left in cars. You know, everybody stay smart, stay indoors, and we'll all get through hopefully the last heat wave of the summer together. But I'm here if you need me, and I'll drop my all my contact info in the chat. Have a great day and a great Labor Day weekend.
Thank you, Sandy. Go Mark Wu. How you doing today?
Good. Sandy is a sister from another mother and father, so we're all good. Doing well. Mark with Allstate Insurance for your property insurance needs. You know, it's challenging out there in our foothills as more and more companies have gotten very jittery due to the fact that there have been so many brush fires for the last several years and again recently. So if you have property in the foothills, it's very prudent for you guys to make sure that your buyers are jumping on their insurance policies, not at the very end of escrow, but at least a week or two before the end of escrow closes so that you guys aren't caught in a bind. I have had many realtors contacted me frantically with the request that, hey, they thought they had insurance and they don't. And then they have to go to what we call the FAIR plan, which is a much longer process. Thank you.
Okay, appreciate that, Mark. We'll do John Wax, and then we'll do Brandon right after that.
Great. Thank you, everyone. John Wax with Snap-in HD Natural Hazard Disclosure Reports. I hope you got a chance to listen to our panel at West San Gabriel last week. It was really informative. I do want to let you know that we do have that free renters report for the leases. We also have the property tax estimator to set yourself apart from all the others, because you can figure out the supplemental taxes, property tax ahead of time, because they want to know what their obligations are going to be. And you can use us and order the Snap-in HD reports on zip forms, on dot loop, on SkySlope, and then Glide. And Glide is free through the West San Gabriel, being a member of West San Gabriel Association of Realtors. I want you to stay safe, be hydrated, because it's going to be very hot out there. I thank you for your business. Thank you, Calvin, and have a great Labor Day weekend.
Thank you, John. Brandon, how you doing today?
Good. How is everyone else doing? Hopefully staying a little cool out there. I will say I am from Atlanta, and if you know Atlanta, it is the most humid, muggy, nasty. You literally walk outside and you sweat. I've been here 2 years, and I can tell you I'm never leaving. Just because, I mean, I spent my whole life sweating, and I don't really sweat here like I used to, and I'm like, this is the weirdest feeling ever. So it is hot out there, and like we said, wildfire season. There's a lot of great resources you can send to clients or even to your family and friends. I know we know that this fire here in Azusa has been, it's actually still going on. A lot of people don't realize it. I know a lot of us will hear about these fires, we'll hear about these things, and then we don't really hear much about it. The news stops really talking about it. But the LA Times, if you Google LA Times fire map, they have a really cool fire map which can tell you what percentage of the fires are taken care of. And then there's another one, alertwildfire.org, and they actually have cameras on some of the mountains and some of the cell towers around the state. You can actually see a time lapse of those fires in some cases, especially in those wildlife areas, that you can actually see video of those fires. So a lot of people, I know, just they want resources to send to clients. So those are two really good ones. And again, you know, it's wildfire season, and we have Assembly Bill 89 or Assembly Bill 86 coming up, I believe. And that goes into effect in January. I'll keep you guys updated on that, but that is the very high and the high severity zone. There are some changes to that. And I know with the insurance, there's a lot of changes. And I know, like Mark was saying, the insurance industry is definitely a little worried, especially with the state of emergency in California with the wildfires. And so I'll keep you up to date on that Assembly Bill and really all the information coming in. Because I know it's constantly changing. And as you guys know, we have had one of the hottest summer, or the hottest summer on record, and match that with all the lightning storms. Not a great situation, but I know if you provide the information to everybody, we'll all be safe and ready if we need to.
Wealth of information. Thank you, Brandon, for the updates. Because I have a goal, just to remind all the affiliates, and I appreciate y'all being here. I need to hit the meeting in 10 minutes for the first minutes to do the affiliates. So let's try to keep our updates a little bit more condensed and brief. I would appreciate that a lot in the future. Let's do Unita. I'd love to see you. Thank you. And then we'll do Annie right after that, and then Dan.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Unita Wu Home Warranty of America, your 13 months home warranty. And just to let you know, if you guys are, it is a hot weather. So if you guys do have children or senior, please let us know. We do have portable units to be able to give that to temporary relief for your client. So if you need me, please connect with me, and I'm here to help you guys. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Unita. Appreciate that. Annie, how are you doing today?
Fantastic. Good morning,
Yes.
everyone. This is Annie Fan with Chicago Title. The market is super hot. What a great way to be able to identify sellers who most likely to sell for the next 6 to 12 months. We have a way to identify that and help you out. If you're interested in, I would love to do a Zoom one-on-one meeting with you and help you to get more listings. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Annie. I see I have Scott here, and then Jason Hellowell from Property ID. Scott.
Hey, everybody. Scott Shimamoto, Journey Mortgage Advisors. Mark Wu. The saying is a sister from another mister. So that's what the saying is. But I
I
just
love
want to
it.
say
You
that
had great comedy. I could see you at your backdrop is I'm already going to post a slide and invite everyone to the comedy show as well. But that's awesome
so,
what you do. Thanks, Scott.
okay, thank you. So yeah, if you're going to do your, if you have a listing, congratulations. If you have a buyer, make sure you have your financing set up ahead of time, because there are multiple offers on these properties. And, I would love to help you with that. And I'll help you sell your client to the listing agent as well. I'm really good at that. So thank you, Kelvin.
Thank you, Scott. Appreciate you having you every week. And Jason, hello. Well,
what's up, everybody? Just want to say, hey, how's it going? And Order the NHD report ahead of time, especially for these fire issues. With property ID, order the report ahead of time. As soon as you get a listing, get it part of the MLS right away, because a lot of these fire areas are going to be rezoned with a lot of the counties and cities. That way you can kind of get ahead of it, especially if you're representing a buyer, to make sure if it's in a high fire zone, the buyer's insurance are going to be a lot higher. So at least you can get ahead of it before maybe you can even get into contract by looking at the NHD report. And also order the report, no charge if it cancels or anything. We want to give it to you ahead of time. And with property ID, we put all the local disclosures in there. We put a great property tax estimator in there to find out what the property taxes are. And kind of want to team up with you out there before you can even get into contract to kind of get some of your due diligence out of the way. Give me a call, email me anytime. I'll put my information on there. Good luck out there, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jason, for being here. Appreciate it. I think that's all the affiliates. Is there anyone else?
Kelvin, how about?
Oh, Dan, I'm sorry. Dan, there you
okay.
are. How are
Hey,
you
good
doing,
morning.
Dan?
Good. Thank you. Dan, the mover from EQMS National Van Lines. Only update I'd say is a lot of realtors work off of a list of, checklist and timing and stuff like that. From the other affiliates, we're hearing move up, move up, move up. And it's the same thing with moving. Generally speaking, I think most of those lists say, hey, start looking for your mover or your pods or your rental truck about a month out, but really need to change that and push it back to about 2 months out to start the looking. And you have to have it booked, whether it's, again, a truck, a pod, or a mover, about a month ahead of time. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Dan. All right, guys. So just wanted to get the starting on the meeting and start with a little bit of you can tell the affiliates are well versed and then go to a lot of Zoom meetings because they all know how to mute and unmute themselves. So keep practicing. And I want to encourage you guys to talk and ask questions. This is a good opportunity to learn and get answers immediately. So if I say anything, I don't mind you disrupting and asking for realtors to ask questions. I want to encourage and facilitate discussion sometimes. Today's inspiration of the week is from Tom Ferry. You can make money or you can make excuses. Which do you prefer? And what I really feel and grab at this kind of quote is you have the choices to make and you can choose how you spend your time, what you learn, how you're trying to prospect, the strategies and methods you're using to find new business. Or you could be on the pessimistic side, which is, trying to make yourself excuses for yourself. I do know across the board, all the realtors in the industry in California are telling us and reporting lower numbers than the years past and, less sales. And they're making, various excuses for themselves, according to Tom Ferry. And they're making excuses, it's due to COVID. It's due to financing. It's due to the people around me. Maybe a lot of them lost their hours or the jobs or families are impacted by different kind of, I have to take care of my kids at home. And I know some of those are valid excuses that none of us anticipated. But at the end of the day, we're all on equal ground. We all have the same amount of hours in a day. And it just depends on whether or not and how are you making excuses for yourself? Are you giving yourself a reason and an out to excuse your production levels? And to me, I see some people having record years this year during this pandemic. And I see people working hard, and I still people who are working at home and adapting to the new normal and trying new things and really focused on the goal at hand, which is making more sales. And they're soaring in this pandemic. You can choose to make the time, and you can choose to make yourself an eagle and soar if you really just kind of focus and put your business plan together. And I just want to encourage you all that you can make great opportunities during times of crisis, and that is right now. Welcome back, everyone. We're open. Social distancing is still practiced throughout our offices and all essential businesses. And I do want to congratulate again, Danny High has joined our office, and he's already got a couple of listings to share with you all. Hopefully, and some new inventory for you guys to sell. So if you see him around, say hello. And I've been tracking weekly the spread by every single week. Last week it was 673 38,000 in California. And I'm pleased to report that it's roughly about 34,000 since last week. Finally, for 2 weeks in a row, we have seen some flattening of the curve in California. It used to be 9,000 to 10,000 a week. Now we're looking at, much less than that, maybe about 5,000. So it's a little bit around half of that. So that's a nice number. It's probably responding well to the economy, to the stocks, a little bit more positive, environment right now in people believing that maybe a virus is on the way. I know there's thousands of companies out there working on a cure, and hopefully we'll have a much greater leveling out of the contracting the virus. So just wanted to just touch base with that. But in any case, still keep yourself protected. If you have not picked up your face mask, I have some available, or you can purchase additional for $5. And I also wanted to remind you that there is another local testing center here in Monrovia. So go ahead and do the drive-through test if you feel that you've been exposed, or it doesn't hurt to do it every couple of months. It's a free test. Our brokerage does have a COVID-19 prevention plan. I do require all people walking throughout our areas inside the offices and facilities to be practicing safe social distancing measures and protecting themselves and others. It's very important to respect yourself and others in the work environment. And just wanted to focus this time on learning and some of the new advances in Coldwell Banker, reminding you that CB Desk is now available to realtors, which is essentially just the replacement of our tools, cbexchange.com. So you can log into either site right now. They're both functioning well. It's going to redirect you to mycbdesk.com, and you can watch the video which we played last week. And it's really a easier to find dashboard that allows you to really control what you see, goes to your favorite areas that you like to use from Coldwell Banker. And these tools are mobile friendly as well. I want to encourage you to check them out, because every time I come onto the CB Desk area, I see something new. I learn a new area that Coldwell Banker's updating. It's not just something that one time and it's stale. Kind of like a Tesla. It's always updating, always evolving, always improving. And that's something that's kind of cool about Coldwell Banker. So check it out. Encourage you to check in there once a week or more and get your campaigns going, so you can really be in front of as many clients as you could be virtually, and sending out a mass campaign for free using our proprietary software. We also have Coldwell Banker University inside there, and sign up for some of these cool classes. I will encourage you to also join our annual virtual Gen Blue conference. Coldwell Banker has an amazing dedicated line of speakers, people who are in marketing, people who are motivators, and all of these are going to help you increase your business in this new normal. So whether you want to work on your own negotiation skills, social media, marketing, or maybe you want to get into global luxury, here is an opportunity for you to join a ton of breakout sessions, giving you a little glance of who are the upcoming speakers and focused breakout sessions. We have interesting topics that are, not stale topics. These are relevant, fresh, and really just, to me, exciting. So I'd love to have you join the free virtual Gen Blue conference and register for these sessions that are coming in this month, 2 weeks away, September 17th. Join the virtual Gen Blue experience. If you've never been there before, it's really cool to be in this conference with other Coldwell Banker agents, and no other realtors can join, because this is proprietary, exclusive, just for Coldwell Banker. If you want to get a copy of all of our training and YouTube, our YouTube channel has a ton of materials to share. If you happen to miss or you have a time conflict, just check out my YouTube channel, and you can find all of my slides and trainings that I are able to legally share are going to be posted there. I want to invite you to a new class coming over here. This is going to be a Coldwell Banker and American Home Shield the home warranty plan with Pamela McSweeney. She will be teaching us and having a Zoom session September 3rd, 11 a.m. and teaching you how to stay out of court and how can home warranty help. So I really believe that's important. I want to stay out of court. I do have a one slide that I want to talk to you about how to stay out of court. And so that to me is first and foremost ultimate and important in your business. So please join that session this Thursday. And a reminder that next month there's another conference, and this is for all of the realtors in California. It's the Reimagine Real Estate Expo. This is going to be virtual this year. Just save the date for October 12th to 14th. And don't forget to register for all of these great speakers. And there's a whole schedule and agenda, a lineup of a ton of things that you can join for free. So if you want to see some of the highlight speakers in there, I actually know quite a bit of these people, and they are amazing, really, really great forward-thinking people. And they're here to help you, teach you a little bit about what's going on in this industry. Scott Shimamoto is also going to be doing a events for charity. This is going to be for American Cancer Society, a charity comedy show, $10 to join his session. He's going to be going through and doing his thing and doing a few jokes and having some fun on September 4th. So see if you can join him for that. Support their cause. Any questions so far? All right, here is the discussion on staying out of court and a little bit about liability that I hope you can pay attention right now, because this is very important for you as a real estate practitioner to, if you want to stay in business, you have to basically do as best you can to reduce liability. And I'm going to have to tell you that whether you represent a buyer, whether you represent a seller, and even whether you close escrow or not successfully, there is always liability. I have seen agents who have been sued, even though they never transacted, even if they never opened an escrow. They have said something wrong, or it's he said versus she said. So I want to talk to you about how you can do everything you can to keep yourself out of court or complaints. So what we have to do, and I'm going to talk to you about a few topics. First and foremost, broker files and retention of your documents. Both of us have responsibility to retain all documents. So as a broker, I do keep your files for about 3 to 4 years, and I keep them in the cloud. I keep them in my upstairs, and these are locked and stored because I need to have all the transactional documentation of your file. You also have the same duty to keep your documents, because if you were to get a complaint, the court and the attorneys will ask you for a copy of every single document, every single correspondence and communication with you and your client, with you and the other party, with you and the other agent, and your text messages as well. So back up your files, back up all of your documents. And if I were you in your transaction, I would keep your documents, hopefully as long as you can. The good thing about the cloud storage or all of these hard drives is we can store tons and tons of files. They don't take up a lot of space. So if I were you, I would keep all your files. Do your best duty you can. Ask yourself, did you do your best in your transaction? Is there any areas that you didn't fulfill? Is there any areas that you did not complete your duties as a realtor and as a fiduciary duty as an agent? This is important because I have seen complaints come after 3, 4, 5 years, and a lot of times the agent comes to me and tells me, what do? I don't have any files, and this is 7 years ago, and I can't remember anything. Okay? And my answer to you is, well, you are innocent in court until proven guilty, but if they have more evidence than you do, then they could steer a jury, a judge, or an arbitrator. And to me, a professional who doesn't have any evidence or doesn't have documentation doesn't have their text messages, and doesn't have any emails to support whatever it is they claim, then you technically, you're not doing your job to prove yourself innocent. And I know they have the burden of proof to provide more documentation against you, but guess what? If you're at the point of them filing a complaint, they've already consulted with their attorney, they've already prepared for a complaint, and they've already done their homework to validate what their complaint is, and probably found sufficient evidence for them to come forward with a complaint. And you're stuck in the defense, you're stuck responding to a complaint, and you're stuck without any time to prepare, and this could happen at the worst time of your life. So they don't care what's going on in your life, or how much time you have to commit to something else, or whatever projects or how many escrows you have open. When you have to respond, you got to respond immediately. So my point is this: make your documentation and all of your transactions bulletproof. Save your communication, emails, and correspondence. Don't delete transactional emails and communications, because I don't know why people are deleting it, but this could save you from a very, very major complaint that could drag on a year or more of your life. So that's why I'm very hard on, tough on you guys on documentation, because I don't want you to be without any defense, and I want to have strong evidence that we can kick this out of court on the first initial complaints, or eventually they probably wouldn't even complain because you did your job. So I'm being proactive. I want you to be proactive against this type of liability. So when I talk about communication log and your conversations, you have to remember that your memory will fade over time, okay? People have what's called selective memory, and they will only remember what benefits them or something that emotionally triggered them. So they can just remember, you know, one thing out of the entire 30, 45 days that you spent with the client. They're going to remember the one thing that you turned them off. The one thing that they thought, oh, what did he say? That doesn't, you know, I disagree. And they're not going to remember the 95% of the transaction where you were saying great things or where you were telling them important information. All of that just gets washed away. They don't remember the positives. People will only remember the negatives. And because of this fact and human nature, you are not going to have a strong case, because they're only going to remember and report the items that are negative. So that's why you want to have a communication log of all conversations, agreements. It would be a record that they can see that most of the times your client is agreeing, or they received a document, or they will forget that you've sent them something or told them something. So this is how you save your transaction. What I always do is a strategy for you is whenever you do do something called a verbal agreement, or you come to an arrangement how to do something, the best thing to do is to write an email immediately and say, hi client, just per our conversation today at 1:00 p.m., we talked about doing the repairs for your property. You told me that you did not want to use the 3 handymen that I had for you. You have someone that you wanted to use that's going to do it cheaper. Go ahead and schedule your handyman to fix A, B, and C problems, and let me know, because we're going to respond and agree to the repair request, items 1, 3, and 5, and we're not going to do number 2 and 4. Boom. I just put our verbal conversation into writing, documented it, have a timestamp in there, sent it over to the client, and maybe 10 years from now, that buyer finds out that the handyman did a Mickey Mouse job. Well, I have documentation and proof that the seller wanted to choose their own handyman to do this work. Boom, you just saved yourself from liability, because he's going to complain, oh, no, I used the agent's referral, or I did this and this. Here is how you always document a conversation. I just gave you an example. So that's going to help you with the he said versus she said argument in court, because without proof, all of you guys have is just, it's just verbal, whatever you remember. And people will lie or believe the truth, but it could be wrong on the facts in court under oath. The other thing I want to remind you is people always say, oh, don't worry, trust me, this is my friend. This is my, they're never gonna sue me. They're never gonna, we're good. We're best buddies. And I have to tell you that I have seen friendships go sour when something that was outside the agent's control did cause some harm or damage or major repair to a property that, the agent didn't have any bad intentions, but they just bought a lemon. They bought a bad house. So trust and friendship could change over time. Some people who are damaged or harmed, or they see opportunity to get earn potential money damages or an award, some people are willing to sacrifice your relationship and friendship with them. They may not care, or they might value $100,000, $200,000 claim over your friendship. Okay, as sad as that may sound, it's true. So just understand and don't expect that at the time of the sale, you guys are good, but over 5 years or 7 years or whenever there's something that goes wrong in the house or in the transaction, that is they're going to make a decision. Do I want to keep the relationship, or do I want to go after and chase some potential awards? Some people will choose themselves over you. Okay. Don't make verbal or written statements or promises to your client or guarantees that are outside your control. So if you don't know something as a fact, then don't make this commitment. My suggestion to you would always be to allow it to be more gray, allow it to be more, well, you might be able to build an ADU in the backyard, okay? Instead of saying, oh yeah, this property, yeah, you can definitely get an ADU in the rear. So unless you've done some homework or you have an architect design background, I can tell you that you have to soften your statements and say, why don't make a promise. Oh yeah, the tenant, definitely, I can guarantee you the tenant will be out prior to the close of escrow. I talked to her and they said they were already looking to move out, and I promise you they'll move out. Guess what? What if that tenant doesn't find another place? What if they have circumstances that they're being impacted by COVID or by their job? You do not have control over this, so don't make that kind of commitment. Okay? And so I don't like agents who verbalize, promises to their clients regarding maybe credits or something that they may not be able to have influence over regarding, what the lender can allow for maximum credits and this and that. So there's 100 of ways that, verbal agreements are fine, but you document it. But I'm telling you, don't make guarantees that are outside your control. Do only what's in your control. Okay. So next question is, next topic was always refer or recommend your client to seek a professional opinion on the areas that you are not trained in, the areas that you are not an expert. And we have been trained primarily just in the real estate business, agency duties, responsibilities, roles, and our experience has helped us in so many ways that we know a lot of different things. And if you've been attending to my classes and my training sessions, you probably know a lot about every single industry. But the fact of the matter is, because you're not a tax professional or a CPA, you should not give tax advice. You're not a contractor license, you shouldn't give building advice. And if you're not an attorney, structural engineer, architect, blah, 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 you need to have the client seek a professional opinion. And always, this is how you defer liability to someone else is, I'm sorry, buyer, I've seen a lot of homes, but I can't tell you how much it's going to cost to replace your roof or your plumbing potential leak, or how much it's going to cost your HVAC system to replace because it's located on the roof, and that's a much more expensive fix because they got to get a crane. All of these details you may not know. So why make a claim of, oh yeah, it's only going to cost you $5,000, oh, or this and this and this. Always refer to a professional, give them 2 or 3 reputable companies, and have them seek their own opinion. Don't make the decision on which person to use, because then if you choose the wrong person, or that person happens to make a mistake, or it causes damages or trips and falls, your seller is going to blame you if you selected someone that turned out to be bad. But if something, so whenever something is good happens, the seller or the client will say, that's my decision. It was me who sold the property for $100,000 over asking price. They don't give you the credit. But whenever there's something wrong with the transaction, or something to blame, guess what? You, the realtor, get all the blame. So that's why try to defer blame to elsewhere. You don't have to be the person who's taking all of the blame. Any questions on that? So easily, I know people ask and say things like, oh, yeah, you can do a 1031 exchange. They might, but it all depends, okay? It depends. Just because they have a rental property doesn't mean they can do 1031 exchange. They have to also report it on their tax return, okay? I've seen people try to get away with, oh, I want to get my homeowners $500,000 for a married couple tax exemption, and I also want to do a 1031 exchange, and they don't report that thing. So if you can't tell them that they can qualify because you're not a CPA, so whenever I have situations like this, I tell the client, yeah, you have the potential if it is a true rental property that you have, that the Fed and the IRS know about. You can file for it on your taxes and check the box for 1031 exchange. Consult with your CPA to get the details and to explain to you what are the great benefits are and how it's going to benefit you directly, because every person has different circumstances and unique situations. So, that's how you defer the liability to the CPA. Let them know that they have the potential, and give them a few articles or emails or links to companies for more information, and then tell them in your email to consult with their tax professional. Lastly, before we move to the next topic, I'm going to tell you about what are the most common complaints against an agent. And the most common complaints is failure to disclose, okay? Failure to disclose something material, something significant, or that they're concealing facts that should have been disclosed to the buyer or the party. So when you're doing your business, I need you to, as a professional, to tell the truth, to have a integrity where you treat the client as if it was yourself or your family member. And to me, good business is always when you do the right business, and that is always when you're being complete. That's what your job as an agent. You're supposed to tell the good and the bad. You're supposed to be a middleman who, even though there's negative news, don't forget you have to share the news, okay? Or if you get 3 termite reports and you only want to show 1, that's not right, because if you were the client, you would want to know that there's all 3 reports that are out there. You have a duty. Treat that responsibility. Your license is counting and counting on you, that you have this great responsibility to be an honest professional. The other complaints I've heard is negligence and negligent duties as an agent, like failing to seek or find and gather more information, or to tell the client there might be a red flag here. It's saying that you should check with the permits, or the square footage doesn't match up, or easily things that you should be able to identify. You should be warning your client, this might not be permitted, or this area is it does not look good. It looks like you need to replace the entire thing. So be the best version of yourself. And obviously don't do any fraud, whether it's constructive or unintentional. When there's an unhappy client, they are going to use very nasty words against you and call you a fraud, call you forgery, call you all these this and that. And I don't want this to be burdening your shoulders and weighing you down. So my best advice is reduce your liability by always telling the truth and being honest. And when I walk and when I complete every transaction, I can go home and sleep at night knowing that I did the best I could. Okay, I didn't take any shortcuts. I didn't say anything illegal. I didn't overpromise anything. And I worked hard for my client. And I do this mindset and I have this approach towards every client, regardless if they're $1 million luxury client or whether they're a $200,000 condo client. I treat everyone with respect. And I ask that you do the same. A quick review of mediation versus arbitration. If you do get a complaint, I'm going to be more quick on this bullet point, but you need to always make sure and double check whether the arbitration and liquidated damages clauses are agreed upon or not. It requires both sections parties to sign it, initial it, and this is not a mandatory thing. This is optional for the parties to decide. They always, the agents ask me, which is the best, should I have it or not? And my guidance is read it, let the client make the decision. Agents do not decide whether they should allow and agree to liquidated or arbitration clause. These are for the parties, your client, to decide. It's a negotiable item. Realtors have a duty to mediate any conflicts or complaints. And I'm going to tell you that your duty is there because regardless if you're guilty or not, regardless if that person's complaint is valid or not, it could, whether they're lying or not, I don't care. But I want you to mediate transactions because for this bullet point over here, if you fail to mediate or agree to mediate or you ignore a request to mediate, you are now losing your ability to ask for attorney fee awards in the case this goes to a true complaint. And then everyone's going to have to attorney up and pay a retainer and pay a lot of fees and $500 to $700 hourly fees. It adds up to $10,000 to $50,000 minimum when you have a complaint. And I do not want you to lose out on that when you win. All of you dynasty agents I know are great, strong realtors and professionals. And we've been very, very fortunate to stay out of court. But I'm going to tell you that when it does happen, it's going to be extremely burdensome to you. And I know you're going to win in court because you guys have me as your broker, and I'm always reviewing your files and trying my best to supervise. But guess what? There could be a very angry client that has some sort of evidence or some sort of attorney training them what to say, and they're going to make you look like a clown and a unprofessional, and they're going to ask for a lot of money. And when you win, because their claim might be baseless and the judge might throw it out, you still have lost the time, the energy, the stress, emotions, and lastly, you're not even going to get your attorney fee award back when you did not go to mediation. Get your broker manager involved anytime you think you have a complaint or receive some sort of violation or notice. Save all your documentation and your conversation logs with your client and with all parties like the escrow office and the other realtor. And you should always have a journal of what goes on, have a business diary or a sequence of events. What meetings did you take, your mileage, your hours? And there's a lot of good reasons why you should have a journal documenting your files, even for tax purposes. Any verbal agreements that you come to, like I told you in the last slide, put them immediately into writing. So that way you can document any conversations and verbal agreements. The burden of proof always falls on both parties. So to me, in the course of what I've seen, because I serve on professional standards, the committee that reviews complaints, I know that the person who has the stronger documentation, the stronger evidence, they're going to prevail in front of any kind of complaint setting. And regardless if you are guilty or you're innocent, these formal complaints do waste time, energy. They're going to drain you emotionally. You're going to get 100 new gray hairs and you're going to get a lot of new wrinkles. I don't want this for you. The only winner in these kind of things, situations, are the attorneys, even if you win in court. And there's good karma and bad karma. And I do know I want you to be doing, and like I said, giving respect to others, because that's how you build good karma, good reputation. And bad karma, those people out there who are doing these frivolous lawsuits and complaints, they're going to earn their bad karma. They're going to get what's coming to them. But realize that this life in this world is not always fair. So I want you to always be prepared for the worst case scenario. And that is why I ask you to do the extra step of what I'm telling you, how to prevent liability. Thank you all. That's it. Again, they did revise the pandemic unemployment guide, so you can read here for a certification process. If those of you who have unemployment, there is the Dynasty Agent resources that always gets updated every week, and like our social media pages. I want to get into our slides of the new meetings, new listings, and our pending escrows. And this is the part and section where we do the marketing portion. And if you have a listing, feel free to turn on your microphone and video and share anything special about your property. Congratulations to Glenn O. Young. I love this guy. He's got a new listing at 815 Camino Grove. He's a true professional, hardworking guy. Got this beautiful 2.375 million Arcadia estate is amazing. It's over 4,000 square feet and has a 93 square foot lot. Recently built in 2017. If you got a client for him, talk to Glenn, schedule an appointment, and hope you can sell this beautiful estate. For Henry, congratulations. He also works hard every single week. I love seeing his activity. He's got 11061 East Avenue, Hesperia. This is a 370,000 single family residence. It's only costing $187 per square foot. And the best part is you are getting a 75,000 square foot lot size. That's 1.5 acres of raw land. Looks nice, looks beautiful, brand new to the market, and it's only $370,000. If you have anyone looking to retire in Hesperia, they can go here and have a nice grounds of to play around in. The next slide we have is Nancy Liu. Congratulations to her new Redondo Beach listing for 1.15 million. This is 2201 Matthews, and it's a above 2,000 square feet living area on a nice 7,500 lot. Recently built in 2008, and congratulations, sir. If you have anyone for Redondo Beach, that's not a bad price, honestly, for a beachside area. Maybe I don't know how far it is from the coast. Congratulations to Henry Liu for having a new lease. 515 Fairview Avenue, number 9. Very affordable, $1,750 per month, 2-bedroom, 1-bath condo. And Danny, congratulations to his brand new listing coming soon. This is 3013 San Ignacio Drive in El Monte. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 7,300 lot size, and it's only $599,000. So if you have a client who wants a good, decent sized lot and a single family house, here's your opportunity in El Monte. Talk to Danny if you want to schedule an appointment. This is still coming soon, so you have to wait for it to become active to finally get the showing scheduled. Happy for Danny. I told you he's been busy and he's a great, amazing professional. He's got another listing here on 4323 Richwood Avenue in El Monte. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,116 square feet, single family house. If you have a client for him for this, talk to Danny. This is also coming soon status. Does anyone else have any coming soons or any other listings that they want to pitch, price reductions, or needs and wants? Okay. Well, I think that's coming to the near the end of the slides. We're going to go ahead and conclude today's meeting with a quote from Bob Huey. I like this one because it puts some realness into our business, that if you don't take care of your customer, your client will, your competitor will, I'm sorry. If you don't take care of your client, your competitor will. And that is a really great statement, because if you're not doing your best and you're trying hard and taking care of their needs and being in front of them and asking them, every single week, is there anything I can do for you? Is there any information I can pull? How can I make your life easier? How can I tap into your investment funds, and how can I make that more money for you than what you're earning in the bank at 1%? Whatever it is, as an agent, we can go out, approach our clients, and take care of their services and their needs, and hopefully build them up for wealth and for a strong future with investment properties. And I can tell you, if you don't do it, guess what? They're going to find someone else who will. So that's my kind of message for you this week. If any questions from anyone before I end the meeting?
Kevin, can you give me the Daniel's phone number?
Danny?
Yeah, he has a listing on El Monte, the last 7,000, that one.
Yes, I will. I'll text it to you. I'll give it to you offline. So
Okay.
Joan, can you text me right now? And then I'll give you his number.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anyone other questions? Great. Well, thank you for that. Just appreciate you all being here with me and staying till the end. You guys are amazing. I love being in business with you and being your broker. Call me or text me if you have any questions or have any issues to resolve. And I wish you all well. Have a great week. Stay safe, everyone.